Hello YouTubers. Okay, so in the first video with this, we had a little look at just the machine in general really. I'm going to go into a bit more detail for you today. We're going to listen to some of the tones. It's nice and calm out here, so no wind, so I'm not going to run with the headphones on. I'm going to let you hear a few of the tone options on this, and we're just going to talk about the machine really. Going to talk about the control panel and go in a bit more depth and really get stuck in. So let's get stuck in. Okay, so we're running in all metal at the moment, and all metal is a single tone. It doesn't change for anything, metal of any kind. You just have to look at the numbers. So people who like using tones probably aren't going to like this, but you basically have to correspond the numbers to the signal. So I've got a lovely all metal single tone there, but the numbers are about 12 to about 13, so I know it's junk. Let me just switch it over to jewellery mode, and it's cancelled it out. There you go, that's gone in jewellery mode, that's been discriminated out. So all metal is basically exactly that. It's going to tell you whenever there's a piece of metal in the ground, and it's up to you to decide whether you think the numbers are high enough to give it a go. $79. What does that sound like on a different tone? Well, let's put it on C1. That's a bit like Nocta Force Core's got one like that, where it kind of gets more excited the closer it is to the target. I do believe that the Technetics machines do that as well, but I'm no expert on those. That's tone 6. Extremely high, and that will appeal to a lot of people, no doubt. But for me, I like middle for diddle. Let's have it out. Okay, I just turned you off to conserve the battery. Nothing exciting, not too sure. No, pretty sure it's nothing, but just a really good example there of the lovely tone on a good conductor. Okay, let me show you something. Slightly jumpy numbers, but all high. Watch the pinpoint. See how high that is? When it's that high, it's telling you, it's right on it. So the chances are, unless it's a wheel off a car at 3 feet, the chances are it's going to be an object very close to the surface, and that pinpointer is telling you that. If you're a park hunter in America, I imagine that's going to be really handy. Oh, well, I'm whacking on something there. The size of that. Yeah, at that depth, that's going to fool most detectors, isn't it? That is a proper slab of rusty iron, and it wasn't far under the surface. Oh boy, I'm not surprised. But the numbers were a little bit jumpy, so it was fighting it. If you just want to go after purer numbers, you know, it depends on who you are and where you detect really, doesn't it? But yeah, that's a big old nasty lump of iron. Okay, quick bit of advice. if you want to ramp up the sensitivity to 90 on this machine, there's a good chance that on a lot of fields it might get sparky. At least that's what I've found. Like a lot of machines really, they don't want to be pushed to their limit, and they're not really supposed to be that often. You find a nice balance, don't you? I know some people are using it on 90, and I'm not saying it won't, but on this field certainly, if I push it up to 90 sensitivity, yeah, I'm getting sparks and spits that I don't really want, and I'm finding about 70 is just about right. So you do have to tune this in to suit your fields like you do with many machines. Okay, here's a quick demo of how FE-Sen Iron Sense works. Okay, there is something there, promise you. There it is. And that's very dodgy. That's 33, 36s. Every now and again it tries to give a spark. Now I'm going to put FE-Sen on. It's a little bit like the iron audio, I guess, on the 400i. It's very, very good. And again, if you've got an irony patch and you want to know that it's an irony patch and you just want that extra little bit of ID on those possible irons, then stick the FE-Sen on. That's exactly what it is. Think of it as an iron sensor. I found it to be very helpful. And yeah, just I think on things like bottle caps in America, the Quest Q40 has a nice easy park hunter. When you just want that to do that and just come in and just give you that extra something, and there you go, it's proved its point. That's a nice thick chunky object, and there's no doubt about that, that's steel. And when I put the FE-Sen on, it said, you know what, you want to leave that one alone, mate, it's not very nice. But the chunkiness and everything else just sort of 50-50 in the machine. The FE-Sen, that really sort of like put the message home. So I'm glad I dug that, because I proved the point. That works. So there you go, FE-Sen. Basically, if you want to just go after good, easy targets, and you want a day where you're going to cherry pick good targets because you think they're there, stick the FE-Sen on, and if anything goes grunt, growl, growl over it, walk away and just go for the goodies that don't. If on the other hand you're on a special bit of land, or you've gone back somewhere where you really believe there's more good stuff but you've got to really winkle it out, the iffy signals, turn FE-Sen off and dig it all, whatever the numbers, whatever, because you really are scratching around for the last hopeful bits or something that you believe's there. So it gives you the option. FE-Sen, I think it's very, very good. Okay, so if you do buy a Q40, one thing that I'm sure you will find is that you'll have no problems with the actual build quality. It's very, very well put together. This machine's been well thought out. Cam locks are nice and sturdy. The whole square shaft sliding system works really, really well. Yeah, no problems down this end either, which of course is very important. Now, there's something quite clever about this machine that I want to show you. A lot of machines have an adjustable arm cup, and it gives you a little bit of movement in how far you can have your arm to trigger ratio. This machine doesn't. This is static, and this moves. And this moves as far that way or that way as you want. And that means no matter how tall you are or small you are, no matter what kind of distance you've got between your elbow and your hand, you can move this up and down until it's exactly as you want it. I always have it at full distance, right the way to the back of my arm. There's my elbow, and I like it like that, so I've got the full length of that arm to balance, and that really helps get the balance in this machine. It's nice because you can get it absolutely perfect no matter how long or short your arm is, and that really helps with the balance of the machine when you're swinging it in the field. Something else that I haven't mentioned yet, I might have mentioned it in the last video, I'm not sure. The control box is IP66 water and dust proof, and that means that you can carry on searching even if it starts chucking it down with rain, and you don't need to start worrying. That's why I didn't worry last week when it started chucking it down with rain. That's why I carried on, and that's how I found a Saxon brooch. Okay, so the machine is switched on and I've turned the sensitivity down because it was going absolutely mad in the house, but this is just to run you through the very simple menu on the Q40. So M for menu, there's your ground, that's your ground, so that's 52, that's what it was set on when I was in the field. TID is if you want to manually change the discrimination. And then you've got the FE. So there's FE. If you go up, you're on, down, you're off. And that's your FE sense. So your FE sen, as they call it, or I call it. Okay, that is your frequency. That's if you want to shift it. It goes off very, very quickly, this, so you don't get very long. Press menu again and you're in your tones. And there you go, 4, 5, 6. Go back down, and I showed you the tones in the field. Showed you a couple of those. You've got 6 different tones to play from. I like 3, but that's where you move it. Once you come out of there like that, you're back into your sensitivity. Okay, so when you're back in nothing at all, that's where you go up and down here with your sensitivity. And that's very, very easy to do, just like that. So menu goes through them all. There's only one thing on here that needs 2 hands, and there's your ground balance. I'll come to that in a second. But in order to change what setting you're in, what digging setting, you press that down, and then you move the upper, and there it goes. There you can see I've gone along now to jewelry. So just to show you that again, because there are 2 custom presets here. You've got preset 1 and preset 2, and that means you can actually do your own program. You can actually go into those and set up your discrimination, your sensitivity, your favorite tones, everything that you want, and you can actually save that. So it shows you in the handbook what you have to do with that. I don't know whether you actually save it or whether you just turn the machine off and it remembers it the next time. But you do have 2 presets all of your own. So there we go. Press in the ground balance, toggle along, and find the one you want. Jewelry's my favourite at the moment. I quite like jewelry. Your ground balance itself is very, very easy. You just find a clean piece of ground, push it in, pump the coil, and it'll settle. And as you can see at the top there, if you look at the top there, 55, that's what it's been in my field that I've been testing it on pretty much all the time. And there you go. When you sit there on GC, it will actually show you the 55 in the main one. So there you go. Very, very easy. You just toggle through up and down to make your changes. Couldn't be simpler. A very, very simple machine to operate, but quite a few nice features. Okay, so we've got 2 American coins because they give nice signals, and we've got an iron nail. This is jewelry mode, and this is going to discriminate out that iron nail in between these, and it's going to give me a target either side. Absolutely no problem, nothing from the nail. Just to show you what it sounds like. Put the nail down. It can still pick them both out and leave the nail out, so it discriminates out perfectly, very, very close together, and it's picking both of those up with a nice fast swing speed. So really nice swing speed, really nice recovery with this machine. It processes really, really quickly, and if you want to knock out the iron, it'll do that too. Absolutely lovely. Okay, we've got 3 coins now. I'm just going to move this slightly, so it's going to be slightly a funny angle for you, but that's so that I can swing it because Natalie's holding the camera for me. So basically, we did the iron test. Now I'm going to do a quick recovery speed test with just 3 high conductors. And they're about 3 inches apart. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. Absolutely lovely. Well, there you go. There's a couple of videos on the Q40. I really like this machine. It's been put together in a very smart way. Waterproof, wireless headphones straight out the box. Nice adjustability for your arm. Yeah, they've just really thought it through, to be honest. And at the price, I don't think you can go wrong. And it finds stuff. You know, it's not going to reinvent the world of metal detecting by any means, but it's just a good, reliable, good performing metal detector at a very good price for what you get. Very pleased with this. Hope you've enjoyed the videos. You will be seeing it more because I really enjoy using it, so I will be taking it out more in the future. Okay, good luck, happy hunting, and I'll see you soon.